Today they paid me their first visit. I was expecting this to happen sooner or later. My offer was too good for them. I had no idea how many people were caught up in this. We'll be raking it in. I drive out to Ellen's for Christmas. Her father has died. If only she knew what her father was doing now. Ha ha ha. If he hadn't called me a country bumpkin that time, maybe things would have turned out better for him. But as far as I'm concerned, he can go to hell. He got what he deserved. Back to the grind of my newfound existence. We've got to hit on all cylinders. If we have a prey in hell of making our quotas. If we don't, the boss will get angry. And I know how bad it'll be when the boss man gets angry. I've been witness to this a few times and I really hope I never get on the wrong side of him. So I'm guessing that's the same as our boss. So I'm guessing that's Sir. I'm working the drones as hard as I can. It seems to me that we might even exceed our goal. This doesn't leave me much time for my favorite pastimes. I'm working away like some kind of slave here. Spend the whole day up in the galley screaming at those lazy idiots below me. If it goes on like this, I'll be in need of some new vocal cords. Quota exceeded. 200,000 preachers shipped and 1 million quacks. Amazing. A whole million. If Omega keeps growing at this rate, we'll be buying more land and building a new production facility. It's smooth sailing. There's nothing at all for me to worry about. Well, he ended up dead, so I guess that was something. Boss invited me to see him. An interesting turn of events indeed. I can't be bothered at the moment. I'll stay where I am and keep making my ghost catchers. Okay. I have to chuckle when I think how no one in this factory knows what this gadget is used for. It's small and inconspicuous. All their stupid guesses. If only they knew. The boss is extremely pleased with me and my productivity. He introduced me to his new personal assistant. Intimidating guy to say the least. Perhaps he wanted to show me that failure to obey doesn't pay. No worries, boss man. If this thing breaks in cash, you won't be disappointed. So I'm guessing he's talking about Uzi, I think his name was? The dude that we fed to monstrosity. Production is going according to plan. I am pleased. It's the way things should be. There's nothing to stop me now. To hell with death. My eternal place in the sun is guaranteed as long as I can keep up this pace. Ellen keeps nagging at me that we need to move. We've got money, she says, and she keeps going on about having a family. Me, a father. What a laugh. Imagine her reaction if she found out what was really going on here. But she's always going to keep thinking we're making revolutionary shaving equipment? There's something fishy going on. Some idiot has started scribbling this junk all over Omega about birds. Ladybugs is what we used to call them. Ladybirds this and ladybirds that. Who gives a rip about the damn ladybugs anyways? Now the boss has asked me over so he can straighten me out about something. I sure has nothing to do with this ladybird graffiti popping up all over the place. Just what I need. Suspect it's all about the ladybirds, unfortunately. Otherwise, production is going according to plan. Damn. Bossman ripped into me this time. He's not all pleased with me and these ladybirds scribblings all over the place. Are these ladybirds of doom or something? I'll wait for the painter and teach him a lesson, alright. A nosy little bastard. That's what he is. He will wish he was a ladybug when I get through with him. Things are getting out of hand here. The bastard is still scribbling his ladybird junk on the walls and nobody seems to be able to catch him at it. Not even that paranoid Derek. I can sense things getting away from me and out of my control. I don't think I'm in the boss's good graces anymore. And Ellen is winding me out more and more. What I need is a nice relaxing vacation, but there's no chance of getting away from this place. I've made my bed here. Ashton is starting to behave oddly. I have this feeling he's poking his nose in where it's not wanted. I'm not saying I think he's the one who's painting ladybirds on the wall, but I'm having him watch just in case. Well, I think he might be the one. But if not, I don't... Maybe the ladybugs themselves were painting it? Something wrong. Today in the warehouse, I came across something really strange, and I made an appointment to see the boss right away. I hope he can tell me what to do about it. Or better yet, take care of it himself. Do they mean monstrosity? Boss is angry with the situation with me. I reckon I've got a problem. I think my days are numbered if I don't do something to turn this around. Hansen is getting odder and odder. I need to find a replacement in case he slips over to the other side. Why didn't the boss tell me later? Bloody ladybirds, if I lose business over them, I'll rip their cursed wings off. There it is, then. Good news, it seems. 2 newcomers join us in July. Niels Grossman and Larissa Pesanova. Niels looks like a simple soul who won't ask too many questions. Larissa is a graduate in entomology, so I'm hoping she'll be able to come up with an insecticide for these pesky ladybirds. Hansen seems to be out to get me. I reckon I should be making plans for what to do with him. Maybe I'll ask the boss' personal assistant for some help with this. Fire in B Hall. I'm worried that that bastard Hansen's the one who started it. I'll show him. It's a shame I can't prove it. But a little bird told me he was trying to open the hidey hole in my locker when everybody else was trying to put out the fires. Very suspicious. How did that runt work it out? I'll have to show him how wrong it is to stick your nose in someone else's business. Niels is on the job. About time, I'd say. I got to make Hansen pay before I can get rid of him. If he passes everything he knows on to Neil, then the game's up. The boss is bound to blame me. Now Larissa's on the job too. She's quite attracted, and heaven knows that I need distraction from this chaos. Maybe I'll try to seduce her. She's a lot better looking than Ellen, that's for sure. Niels already knows what he needs to know. Problem is, he's still hanging around Hansen. It's time I called the boss. Hansen has to go, and the sooner the better, as far as I'm concerned. Boss is very busy, but he promised he'd deal with it by the end of the month. I would say I'm relieved. That's one less fly, or should I say ladybug, in the ointment. Haha, very funny. Starting to beat the slump. It seems that we'll manage, in July at least, to make some good on the defect. The Quacks Association of them has been sputtering on about how they have no machines. No worries, they'll get their machines, alright. Masterpiece. The boss's assistant is just the man for Hansen's job. He tortured Hansen like a cat with a mouse, and then he brought me his head, still alive and blabbering on. Put it in the hidey hole, and that's not all. He does something to it so Hansen's in real pain. Paranormal powers, apparently. Funny thing is, Hansen himself knows the words, which, if someone else were to blurt them out, would bring an end to the pain into them. The catch is, whenever someone else is in the room with him, it hurts so much all he can do is scream and moan in incomprehensible agony. When he's alone, he can say the words, release them over and over again to no avail. But because there's no one there to hear him, couldn't have happened to a nicer guy. So I'm guessing that we had to use the eavesdropping thing? Even if someone were to happen across Hansen, they would have to ask him whether it was still hurting him. Only after this would Hansen be in a position to utter to the darkness his simple words of salvation. Genius and ever so frustrating. Talk about your eternal damnation. I really, really would not want to get on the wrong side of the boss. Everybody in the factory thinks it was a suicide, of course. So I'm guessing that we're going to have to find Hansen and, well, Hansen's head and save him. Today I've been to Hansen several times to ask if it was still hurting him. Serves him right, the little runt. I must say that I do enjoy tormenting him. Let him suffer. Okay, no, that's the wrong way. Today's factory's operating at full capacity. It seems that our last problems are subsiding. Niels worries me. I'm afraid Hansen might have had words with him. He's taking rather too active an interest in things. Tomorrow will be yet another day of torture for Hansen. After all, what do I owe him? Certainly not rest in peace. There's this sniffing around the safe. I had to break off from giving Hansen hell because I left the safe open and forgotten to lock the office. I threw her out, and I trust the look I gave her will be enough to discourage her from snooping around again. Okay, so we probably have to talk to Larissa about that. Seems to me that Niels has got it coming. He's poking around where he shouldn't be, and it's only a matter of time before he discovers the ladybirds. When I asked Larissa about the insecticide, she just laughed. She is pretty but useless, it seems. Put Ellen on hold. I can't put up with her constant moaning anymore. Here we go. The liquidation of Niels is planned for tomorrow. Somewhat more moderate this time. Apparently we have Hansen to thank for this. Niels has been doing something very odd. Anyways, in his present state, he's not going to be doing anyone any harm. See that thing that's like scooting around the factory? Is that Niels? I lost my grip on the situation, but I'm sorry to report that Niels somehow managed to open the cellar. I found Larissa and Scott dead. The boss called me to tell me that I've got 3 days to put everything back in order. If I fail, they're coming for me. Things have gone from bad to worse. What have I got myself into? Trading in souls? Posthumous slavery? It was meant to be a bit of a game. Okay, I admit, I've known about it since the transfer, but I had no idea it'd end up like this. If only I'd gone after Ellen and left someone else to run this hellish operation when I had the chance. All hope is gone. I don't stand a chance. Ladybirds sent in here something ancient yesterday which devours workers at random. Oh, monstrosity was sent by the Ladybirds, okay. Yesterday I attempted to release Hansen from his ordeal, but I did it subtly. Not even I can lift him down, and if the attempt I did just made his pain worse. Maybe they really did put him here as a warning for me. Boss called. They're on their way for me. Locked myself up in B Hall, and the others are dead, in any case. I'm afraid that for them this will just prove to be no kind of obstacle. I still have got to write a letter to Ellen. Betray myself. I have betrayed humanity, but to hell with them. I want to live. I'm gonna hide in here and hope they won't find me. Okay, so pen. There's a line. And it goes dot, dot. Any person. Those. Alright. Whoa, it's lagging crazy. Okay, so I'm gonna pause this for a sec, fix the frame rate, and be right back.